now. Football, basketball, show us how. Purdue proud and wear it loud. For the nation in a crowd. Breaking news from courts and fields. Victories and big deals. Iron Men, fast heels. On this podcast it's revealed. For the breakdown, let's ignite. Black and gold, we're taking flight. Every story, every fight. For the breakdown every night.
What's going on, Boiler Nation? It is Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024. Brand new episode of the Boiler Breakdown Podcast. I about said the wrong podcast. Boiler Breakdown Podcast
You
is
just do
live.
too many.
Jeez. Is live on the air on the Boiler Breakdown Facebook page and YouTube channel. Please give us a like, subscribe, follow, hit that notification bell. Smash that like button. Isn't that what the kids say? Smash that like button. Hit that notification bell. I don't know my lingo. Webby, what's going on?
Happy to be here, Tan. It's the most Monday feeling Tuesday ever.
Oh, that's what I'm blaming for this horrible intro here. Yeah, I thought it was Monday so many times a day. I thought yesterday was Sunday. It's gonna be one of those weeks.
You texted me to confirm the time, and I was like, why is he asking me today? You guys got another podcast, and I'm like, oh no, it's Tuesday.
Yep. But I'm pumped to talk about a Boiler victory. That's something we only did 4 times last football season.
Mm-hmm.
Now we get to do it right off the bat after one game. Boilers took care of business and more over the Sycamores Saturday, leaving no doubt in a 49-0 victory.
Yeah, I mean, it's going into it's kind of what we were hoping for. You never know with week one. Year 2 of a new coach against an FCS opponent. You just never know. But I mean, what we're hoping for is the Boilers would, 1, come out healthy, and 2, kind of just leave no doubt, take care of business, and not give a inferior team some life towards the end of the game. Which it was, you can even argue that it was 21-0 at half, and it probably should have been around 35-0 if not for some really stupid penalties, which I'm sure we'll get into. That's probably the only thing you can really nitpick from this game. But otherwise, it was a beautiful day. It was a hot one. It was good to be back on a damn near full Ross-Ade for a team coming off a 4-8 season, predicted to be last in the Big Ten. But you wouldn't have known by the attendance. It was pretty awesome, and given the fact that it was a holiday weekend, so it was really cool.
Yeah, shout out to all of Boiler Nation. They showed up. They were loud. Saturday, like you said, 59,449 in the seats at Ross-Ade, the most for a season opener since the 2005 season opener against Akron. Which, just shout out to Purdue, man. It's a lot of other schools in the same boat don't have that fan support.
No,
there's another school in the state down south didn't have that fan support on Saturday, and their season opener, and their coach kind of threw a dagger at the fan base right away.
I didn't even hear that, but
he said along the lines of, show up, stay at the game, let's create a real football environment. Because I know it was very hot. Don't get me wrong on Saturday, but by the halfway through the third quarter, that crowd at Memorial Stadium really cleared out. So,
yeah.
So, but no, it was a great day. Like you said, very little to nitpick. Some penalties, which we'll talk about, and a fumble. But besides that, a clean game. Got out of the game pretty injury-free. I mean, maybe a few guys got some nicks, cuts, bruises, but nothing substantial. So, I felt good about it. I mean, I think we were not too far off with our predictions. We both gave Indiana State some points.
Yeah.
But wasn't meant to be. I don't know what you think, but I can't recall a team ever coming into Ross-Ade and throwing, 10 passes?
It was 10. Yeah, that was – I looked up at one point, like in the third quarter at the scoreboard to see just kind of what the stats were. And I was like, they've thrown like 6 times. I couldn't believe it. Like it was – and the passes they did throw, it's not like they were testing Purdue or anything like that. It was like just kind of dinks and dump offs. And as you said, like their coach had talked about they wanted to try to establish the run, and they couldn't do that. And Had as I think someone put, I don't know if it was on the board or whatever, but it sounded like they just said, "We'll take our 500 grand and we'll just get the hell out of here."
Exactly. That's what it felt like. Like I
Yeah,
don't know if they just figured, okay, we're not gonna be able to run against Purdue.
yeah,
We're not gonna be able to throw against Purdue, so we're just gonna run. Or if they, I don't know. That was
yeah,
really puzzling. I don't know. I thought they might at least try some passes the first series or two just to see. I mean, even if it's just get a pass interference penalty, if
yeah,
nothing else. But whatever. Hey, to each their own. They only won one game last year, and they looked like a team that did so.
yeah.
So,
Shout out to their
but
band though. It was cool that they brought their band. They were
yeah,
they're
that's a
having
big deal
fun.
for them. Big deal
Yeah,
for them. I don't know. Let me look at their schedule. I don't know if they play another big opponent. They play at Eastern Illinois this week, then Dayton at home. No, this was their
yeah.
big game. So
I'm surprised they didn't play at least one more. I mean, just from a financial standpoint.
maybe they just weren't able to because I still don't know, how that scheduling arrangement worked with
That's
Purdue
true.
shifting the game around and
Yeah, it's true.
everything.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
So, um, who did they beat last year? Now I'm just trying to find. Oh, they beat Western Illinois last year, 21-0. So, where are you saying Western Illinois hadn't won a game since
Yeah,
2021?
yeah, I think the last time they won was like October of 2021. I think they've lost 25 going from the end of that season to this season. They've lost like 25 straight, but they are 0-22 in the last two complete seasons.
And they play at Indiana this weekend,
Yeah,
which we'll predict that game later. Ray Davis on Facebook. Team down south fans are used to leaving in third, not used to being on the winning end at that point.
yeah,
That's true. They're gonna really, I think, for that fan base to show up and continue showing up, they're gonna have to upset a big team
yeah,
or have a marquee win at some point
yeah, yeah.
for that fan base to buy in. So, but going back to the Purdue Indiana State game, Purdue had 27 first downs on Saturday compared to Indiana State's 11. It is surprising for Indiana State going 5 for 10 passing. 3 of their first downs were through the air. So 3 of their 5 completions did give first
Yeah.
downs. They also had 6 rushing first downs. Purdue had 12 rushing first downs, 15 passing first downs. Indiana State did have 2 penalties that resulted in first downs. Purdue 0. Purdue outrushed Indiana State 248 to 101. But Indiana State attempted 43 rushes to Purdue's
Mhm.
31. Purdue 8 yards a pop on the ground.
Yeah.
That'll do.
Yeah.
3
Helps when you
rushing
bust one for
touchdowns.
like 60.
No, absolutely. 3 rushing touchdowns. Then through the air, like I said, Indiana State was 5 for 10 for 50 yards. Purdue 30 for 35 for 335 yards, 9 yards per attempt. And 11.2 yards per completion, 4 touchdowns through the air. Yeah, Hudson Card. I don't care who you're playing. When
Yeah.
you go 24 for 25, that's a hell of a day.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're playing a middle school defense. That was one of the sharper performances I've seen out of Purdue quarterback my entire life. 24 for 25, 273 yards, 4 touchdowns. His longest completion was 43 yards, and his one incompletion threw a good ball to Jamal Edrin.
I think
And
he
it looked like
lost it or what?
maybe he
It in
lost
the
it in the
air.
sun. Yeah.
Yeah, because that would have been a touchdown.
Yeah.
Do you think if you and I stood about 25 yards, 20 yards apart, could we complete 25, 24, 25?
Absolutely not. Nope. 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 Uh, Devin Mockbee led the Boilers on the ground with 89 yards on 11 attempts, longest being 36 yards, 8.1 yards a carry. No TDs though. Elijah Jackson, the red shirt walk-on freshman, 83 yards on the ground on 3 attempts. Of course, 69 of those yards came on 1 run, which was the longest Purdue rushing attempt touchdown since Rondell Moore in 2018. He averaged 27.7 yards on the ground. Reggie Love, the third in his Boilermaker debut, at 39 yards on 7 carries in 1 touchdown, 5.4 yards a pop. Hudson Card got it done with his legs too. 3 attempts for 21 yards.
Got a little nervous there a couple times.
Merriweather, the true freshman from Tennessee, had 2 yards on 4 attempts, 1 touchdown. Ryan Brown also had 13 yards on 3 rush attempts. So good day on the ground for the Boilers. Through the air, we already mentioned what Hudson Card did. Ryan Brown also played 6 of 10 for 62 yards. He did take one sack, as did Hudson. Hudson took one sack as well. Receiving, Max Clare led the Boilers in yards with 71 yards and receptions with 5 receptions and 1 touchdown. His long reception was 43 yards. Jamal Edrin, a good debut for him in the Boilermaker uniform, 4 receptions for 59 yards. Leland Smith, the junior college transfer, had 2 receptions for 47 yards and a TD. Jerron Tibbs, the Indianapolis native sophomore, had 4 receptions for 30 yards and a TD. Nayland Morissette, the transfer from Georgia, 2 receptions for 27 yards and a touchdown. Jaden Dixon-Veal, 2 receptions, 23 yards. Drew Bibber, 3 receptions, 21 yards. Andrew Stawinski, 2 receptions, 20 yards. Jesse Watson, 1 for 16. Oh, I'm tired. Shamir Rigby, true freshman, 2 for 13. Devin Mockabee, 2 for 5. And George Berman, 1 for 3. So 12 different guys caught the ball for Purdue.
And 7 different guys scored, so every single touchdown was a different player, which was, I mean, usually you don't see that. I mean, obviously when you score 7 times, usually you're bound to repeat somebody, but
Yep.
it's pretty cool.
Antonio Stevens was tied for the overall total leader in tackles with 7, along with Will Helt. Will Helt had 6 of those were solo. He also had 3 tackles for loss and 2 sacks.
I guess I missed his other sack. I know the one because you called the one like right before.
Yeah, he
just absolutely
smoked him.
smoked that guy.
I don't know how the quarterback held on to the ball there.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Because on Instagram, if you look, he wasn't even looking at Helt. Like I mean, shout out to quarterbacks that can do that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how they can hang on to the ball like that. But Jeffrey Imba, 6 tackles. Kydron Jenkins, 4 tackles. Damari Lewis, 4 tackles. Sheeta Soleil, 3 tackles. Salam Turner Muhammad at 3 tackles. Good to see him finally suiting up for the Boilermakers.
Absolutely.
Kendrick Breedlove, Colorado transfer, 3 tackles. Whole bunch.
Yeah. And the big
Dylan Thieneman, only 2.
Dylan
Thieneman, only 2.
Which, because we kind of lived in their backfield, which was nice. Obviously, kind of what you were hoping for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, I mean, they couldn't get it going. I mean, there's a couple times the QB was able to kind of what we saw last year quite a bit was, on a like a read play, quarterback was able to kind of break out and get, I think their longest run was 20 yards by the quarterback. So you wonder about that because obviously there's gonna be a lot more quarterbacks in the Big Ten that can do that. I know we kind of saw that. I know last year Syracuse's quarterback just absolutely torched us with that all day long. So hopefully that's something. I don't know if that's just a scheme thing or what. But
Riley Leonard's pretty good at that. He's pretty good at running. That's one thing. I watched the majority of their game against A&M, which got to give flowers where flowers are due. Heck of a win by Notre Dame in one of the tougher places to play in the country. I didn't think Leonard was very impressive passing the ball, but he can get it done on his feet with his legs when needed. Ray Davis here on Facebook. Ever watching Indy? Do we zone or go man against their receivers? Our tight ends have to have a big game against Indy. Indy's secondary is very impressive. Yeah, Notre Dame's secondary is one of the fastest secondaries I've ever seen in college. I mean, they're seasoned veterans. They know the system. Purdue's wide receiving core is going to have to be on top of their game for Purdue to have a chance. Offensively, Notre Dame through the air, and this is probably going to bite me, like I just said, doesn't worry me as much as they do on the ground. They get the Jeremiah Love, and I can't think of their other running back off the top of my head, his name. They're speedy backs. Of course, I mean, I know Notre Dame's got talent everywhere. Don't get me wrong, but I'd go man-to-man with them. Walters likes to go man more times than not anyways and makes up a lot of blitz looks. Our linebackers got to be the key, I think. To the game against Notre Dame. But I mean, we'll talk much more detail next week since Purdue doesn't have a game to recap next week, and we'll be strictly focused on the battle for the Shillelagh taking place at Ross 8 for the first time since 2013. But my main key right now, of course, is Purdue's got to get a lead early. Notre Dame's a team they cannot go down 2 or more scores to, or you're going to be not against that defense. You can't play catch up.
Yeah. And you want to get, I mean, especially with being at home, you got to give the fans something to cheer about. If you're, like I said, if you're down 2 scores in the third quarter, you're risking, people kind of just checking out. It's a, 3:30 game, so we'll be getting over, late in the evening, people might try to make their dinner reservations a little early. So hopefully I'm excited for that game. I was thinking today, I was going to the gym. I'm not sure why, but I was just like, man, it's going to feel really good. Probably more next week when it's game week. But I'm like,
Yep.
it's going to feel really good to like bring out the hate I have for this team because I haven't had a chance to really flex it in the last decade. One, because we sucked last time we actually played them. I mean, I obviously played a couple years ago, but it was at Notre Dame, so it was a little tougher and it was going to be a
Right.
taller task. But man, it was just something growing up in Northern Indiana about Notre Dame
Oh,
week and
I
just
still
like,
hate them.
yeah, it's like it. I've kind of stopped over the years because it's like I hated them, but like we don't play them, so it's one thing. But now I'm just like they were gonna get them at our house. Like man, I cannot wait
Yeah.
to
Yep.
yeah
Yeah, it's I wish the rivalry never would have stopped, even though
yeah
more times than not we've seen Notre Dame beat Purdue.
yeah
But it's a rivalry. It's too bad it stopped. I'm glad it's going to continue for the next 6 years. And the smart thing is probably schedule another MAC school or somebody like that. But if you can get Notre Dame on schedule, you take it. It really is in a way Purdue Super Bowl. I mean, I'm
yeah.
not afraid to admit it. So
It is
um, going back to the box score, a few other things I wanted to talk about. Dylan Thieneman did return 3 punts for a total yardage of 29. I thought he did a pretty good job
hmm
in his first game doing that. Purdue did not attempt any field goals, but they were 7 for 7. The freshman Spencer Porath 7 for 7 for extra points. We'll take that all year long.
yeah
And Ben Freehill in 8 kickoff attempts. He had 4 of them go to touchback. Take that as
hmm
well. And then punting duties. Keelan Crimmins in his Boilermaker debut had 3 punts for 140 yards, average of 46.7 with a long being 54. He did have 1 touchback, 1 50 plus, like I said, 54 yards, and 1 inside the 20. So,
hmm I
yeah,
thought special teams looked good compared to
yeah,
what we saw
yeah,
last year. Um, I think it's really good when you just don't really notice anything goes wrong, which is always
exactly.
a good thing. Like you don't know typically you don't know the long snapper's name until he absolutely botches something. But so I hope we don't have to see that. But I thought they were pretty sharp, which is always good because that's one of those again. If they may not win you games, but they can definitely cost you games.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Well, let's talk about penalties now.
Hmm.
Indiana State had 2 penalties for 16 yards. Purdue had 11 for 110. And a
hmm
lot of those penalties of those 11, we lost huge yardage on them because we
Yeah.
gained huge yardage. I mean, I think if you take some of those penalties away, Purdue has about 200 yards more in the air.
Yeah. Yeah, and all those passes that then they were called back, like there's a few, yeah, like Max Clare had some big gains that were called back. Um, all offensive, like I said, a lot of offensive holding, from our angle we
Yeah,
couldn't see, so it was hard to tell. And I haven't gone back and like seen any sort of
you
play
haven't
by
watched
play.
tape. You haven't watched
I
tape.
have not watched tape. No, I have not. Um, but you wonder like, is that is that just officials trying to get it out early just to kind of like as we kind of see a lot in like non-conference basketball where refs are
Right.
calling things a lot tighter just that way towards the end of the year it's not getting out of control. Do you want to do that if they're doing that with football? I have no idea. But it was after that was kind of frustrating. So like, man, if our line's having issues containing Indiana State, God help us against Notre Dame.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm right there with you. And I know my dad made a comment to me. I don't know if it was during the game or after the game. And he's like, the more we hold, I'm nervous the refs are gonna, because refereeing, I'm assuming, and I know you were
Mhm.
intramural referee, so maybe you could weigh in here. I'm assuming it's a pretty tight knit community, and they
Mhm.
probably talk. And if word
Yeah,
spreads around, hey, Purdue holds a lot, refs are going
yeah,
to look for that more times than not. So
absolutely. I mean, you hear all the time of like they have scouting reports on these teams too. Refs, officials, they do their homework on teams. So when they, especially football refs, when you have actually a whole week to prepare, unlike basketball refs, where you're going to be traveling all across the freaking country in 4 different days. Um, I digress. No, these guys, I mean, like I mean, they get scouting reports on every single team, and these crews know, like,
yeah,
what teams do certain things. So yeah, if this keeps happening, Purdue's going to have that stigma of, you know,
hmm
watch these guys for holding. The one that I mean, obviously, in like the holding, but again, I couldn't tell. But the one that really irked me was the passer or the roughing the
roughing the
passer
passer.
because I was just like, I don't know what you expect to do. I mean, he's already like, I mean, it's like again, I always go back to like it's physics. Like you can't like
I know.
when you're driving at this guy, like you can't just pull yourself up when you're airborne or whatever
Yeah,
you're driving. I mean,
it
it just drives me nuts.
I get for player safety, but it's so dumb when they
100%.
implemented this rule in college and the NFL, the all weight force. I don't know how you don't. It just doesn't
Yeah.
make sense. I'm all for of no blows to the head, even with if it's by the hand or helmet
Yeah.
to helmet. That's what I thought maybe happened at first. Then they showed a replay. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Thad Mooney here on Facebook. Few of the flags were warranted for holds. Few were the holds that happen every play. If you want to call it and be petty, yeah,
Yeah.
that's. I've
But you
always
can
said that.
call
Yeah,
holding every single time. So
every single play, offense and defense, if you really
yeah.
want to. So,
Yeah.
but we'll be glad to get some other guys back that weren't in action. Corey Stewart, starting left tackle, should be back. Two starters, presumably starters that were not in action. Nealon Green, transfer cornerback from Georgia, and CJ Smith, transfer wide receiver from Georgia, were out of action. And interesting enough, Ryan Walters to the media said today, if there was a game this week, they would not be cleared. So thank goodness, got another week of rest. That does kind of scare me with both those guys, to be honest.
Especially CJ, because I think it's a hamstring for him, and those hamstrings can be super
We've
finicky.
seen it.
And
we've seen it.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's just one of the things where it's like just nagging and all that. But I hope to get those guys back, because that'd be. I mean, you hear when Walter says Smith is the fastest player he's ever been around, like, and now we're going up against this super speedy Notre Dame secondary, that could be crucial to take the top off the defense.
And what do you think? You were talking about Walters, and it just made me think of Graham Harrell, who I thought called a good game. And a lot of this was hard to tell because it's Indiana State, not only Indiana State, a one-win Indiana State team from last year, or team coming off one win last year, I should say. No, it's a different team. But I don't think Purdue showed everything.
No.
The coaches can say all they want. They've been prepping for this Notre Dame game for months.
Oh yeah,
for months.
They get it. They get it, which is cool. It's like you appreciate the coaches that understand. Like, this is gonna be their first Notre Dame Purdue rivalry, and so it's cool that they kind of get how much this means to the fans. That's usually what all these rivalries are. It means more to the fans than anything, for the most part, I should say. I mean, I think, like, obviously they show some stuff. I think Tom Dienard even said, like, they want to show enough to get these opposing coaches thinking. But you don't. I mean, I was talking to my dad over the weekend of, like, Tiller was famous for never showing the whole playbook until that Notre Dame game. So it's usually the second or third game, and then he just absolutely blow the playbook open on him. So you got to think that. So we didn't see anything really too crazy.
No trick plays, nothing like that.
Yeah, it was pretty vanilla, but still, like, it showed enough that we can spread the ball around. So hopefully they have a lot to look at in their scouting report. For the receiving core and even the running back tandem.
And I thought it was interesting. Walters today was asked if he's ever faced Notre Dame. He said when he was assistant at Oklahoma. So that would have been, I think, 2012, because I remember Notre Dame going over there and going into Norman and beating them that year on their way to the national championship game, which they got smoked by Alabama. But he said, other than that, no. He said he knows Marcus through, just here and there things, coaches, tight-knit community. And, a lot of people are bringing up Marcus Freeman used to coach here. Yes, he did. But he was a defensive assistant from 2013 to 2016. So it wasn't like he was a coordinator. It wasn't like he was head coach, know.
Was he not a coordinator by the end of it? Was he not a coordinator, or at least like a co-coordinator by the end?
He might have been a co-coordinator.
Because he was linebackers coach originally, and then he was a co-coordinator by the end.
But I mean, it's still impressive. It's impressive. He and a lot of those staff members have continued to have successful coaching careers after that dumpster fire that was those 4 years. But, like, I'm sure he'll be asked about it. He'll say good things. He's a classy dude.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, it's not like he's going back to Ohio State or, anything like that.
It says, according to his Wikipedia page, from 2013 to 2015, he was just linebackers coach. And then 2016, he was co-DC and then linebackers coach. And then he was defensive coordinator at Cincinnati from 2017 to 2020.
That's right.
And linebackers coach. And then he was also defensive coordinator at Notre Dame.
Right. I couldn't remember where he went between Purdue, Notre Dame, and Cincinnati. That's right. With Fickle. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about next week, but I love Marcus Freeman. I mean, he was the one bright spot on that coaching staff for those dark days of Purdue football. One that we hope that we could maybe keep with the next when the eventual Brom stuff. We knew that was probably a pipe dream. But yeah, it's like I think it means more to Purdue fans. It's going to be for him because again, it's just kind of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I'm sure he didn't enjoy it. I mean, this is going to be the fullest he'll see Ross Aid
yeah.
this entire
Oh, yeah.
time. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, he's I
You know,
saw.
he's a good dude, but I still root against him just because he goes to Notre
Oh
Dame.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
and I want him to go somewhere else so I can like him a lot more.
yeah, yeah. And I saw a
Eventually.
video of him right before they ran out on the field against Texas A&M, and he just like it kind of the same with Walters too. Like you just see these guys like they're again they're young. I mean
Mhm.
Freeman's
They get
38
it.
years old. They get
They
it.
get
You
it.
know that they're not too far removed from their playing days. Like
Yep.
just like them like hyping up the team and you
Yep.
can tell like they were just like they wanted to run out there and go hit somebody.
Yep.
So yeah,
That's why
I
they
have a
recruit
lot of
well.
respect.
That's why they
Oh yeah,
recruit well. They can connect with these guys, and I love and shout out to the Purdue football social media team doing a great job so far, like they always do. But I
Mhm.
love at halftime. Walters, what's the score? 0-0. Who we
Yep.
playing? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Like
Yeah,
that's the focus because they know that I love that mindset because everybody knows the strength of schedule. Everybody knows the opponents. So you just have that mindset. Doesn't matter who we play. Got to go out
Yep.
and get the job done and have more points on the board than the opposition. So yeah, all good things. But yeah, man, I don't have really anything else. Shout out to Section 122, Ross Aid. Loud like always. It was a
Yep.
beautiful day, and it was great to be back. And I'm already upset there's only 5 more. I told
Yeah,
you, I'm like,
it's crazy.
man, I like when we have 7 home games instead of 6.
Yeah, yeah. Especially because at the end of September they'll be half over. Like,
Yeah, you only get 1
like
in October and then 2 in the
yeah,
cold month of November.
yeah.
So, yeah, it is what it is, though. It is what it
And the
is.
one in October is not an easy opponent either.
It's a Friday night. We don't even get a
Yeah,
Saturday October game.
yeah, yeah.
So, but hey, they did not look that great against Idaho, which
No,
was
they
weird. It
didn't.
was weird. You look at the stats, you're like, how'd this team not win by 30? They won by 10.
Mhm.
It was a weird game. Of course, right when I flipped it over, they took a double-digit lead. That was that.
Yeah,
It was strange. Yeah, college football, you never know. But the Big Ten as a whole went 17-1. Boat boy up there, PJ, couldn't get it done against Mac Brown.
no.
So
They did lose their no, North Carolina lost their quarterback. Never mind, not Minnesota. Never mind.
yes, now Minnesota got new quarterback transfer from
Yeah,
New Hampshire this year.
yep,
So, which is probably familiar with their opponent this week of Rhode Island.
yeah.
So, but speaking of the Big Ten, let's go around and see what we got this week. Still not a great slate of games, but
No,
some that are a little more compelling, I think, than week 1. Starting off with a matchup in Bloomington, Friday night, 7 o'clock. There's no line on this. 0-1 Western Illinois Leathernecks versus the 1-0 Indiana Hoosiers. Got to think Indiana rolls in this one.
oh yeah. Whatever the spread is gonna be, they'll cover it. Yeah.
Next week, Indiana goes out to the Rose Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
It's UCLA next week, who did not look impressive against Hawaii whatsoever.
No.
But they got the win. That's all that matters. In the
Yeah,
end, they got the
yeah.
win. So, also Friday night, you got 1-0 the 1-0 Duke Blue Devils. Head coach there is Manny Diaz at Northwestern.
Right, I forgot he went there.
Yeah, he left Penn State as a DC to go there after a failed head coaching stint at Miami. Northwestern's 2.5-point favorite here, and this is a football game. It's not a spelling bowl, a math bowl, or anything like that. It's a football game.
And Northwestern finally got the monkey off their back. That is Miami of Ohio.
3 to 3.5.
I didn't even see the end of that score. I just saw 13 to 6.
Yeah,
Woof.
let's see. 13-6. It was 3 to 3.5. Yeah. Ooh. I like Northwestern in this one though.
Yeah, I'll yeah, just because they're at home. And the stadium looks pretty cool. I mean, their temporary stadium is, and someone says the most Northwestern thing ever to build something that's actually really, really cool. Only to we know they're just going to tear it down when they build a new stadium.
Our good friend who's Illinois basketball fan and says he's not an Illinois football fan, but he said it is like Northwestern have a beautiful backdrop and then the rest of it look like a county fair.
Yeah,
Like stands you'd see at a county fair or something.
Yeah, I'll take Northwestern.
A big game here at noon, Fox big noon game. Texas, who's says ranked number 4, but I know they moved up to number 3 in the AP, and Michigan actually fell to number 10 in the AP. Texas at Michigan, Texas 7.5-point favorite.
I'm going to take Texas. And Michigan did not look impressive in their opener. Again, breaking in, new quarterback, new head coach.
No Connor
They-
Stallions. What? Who said
yeah,
that?
Texas looked pretty good. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Longhorns. I'm gonna say they barely cover though.
I'll take the Longs by about 14. I think they're pretty darn good.
Yeah,
Bowling Green at number 8 Penn State, who's a 34.5 point favorite. I think they roll.
I think they do too. I saw the over under 40.5. I thought that was the line. I was like, good lord, but they're right next to each other. Yeah, I think they roll.
Rutgers 22.5 point favorites at home against Akron. Good for Akron, just cashing those checks, playing
Yep,
Ohio State and Rutgers back to back.
yep. Rutgers, yeah, they.
Shiano's
I'm
got some energy going in that program.
yeah,
They had a
I'm
pretty full crowd the other night.
turning me into a little bit of a believer. I think Rutgers. I'm gonna say they
Yep.
cover that.
Yep. I think PJ Flex real glad they have Rhode Island this week
Hmm.
after losing to UNC, and I look for the Gophers to get a win.
Absolutely same.
Wisconsin at home against South Dakota. Wisconsin survived a scare from the Western Michigan Broncos. Yeah, Wisconsin rolls in this one.
I think they roll in that one.
Washington 25 point favorite at home against Eastern Michigan. I think they take care of business against the Green Eagles. Is that what they're the Green Eagles?
I
Or just the
think.
Eagles?
Yeah, they have a gray field. That's all I know.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks to Max Crosby.
Yeah,
Good in-state matchup here. Iowa State at number 25. I believe they moved up to 22 in the AP poll. Iowa's a 2.5 point favorite.
Iowa after putting up a 40 burger on. Granted,
Yeah.
it was Illinois State, but yeah, it didn't take them 8 overtimes to do it either. Um, I'll take I'll take the home team. Kinnick will be rocking for that
Yep.
game. Um, over or the
That's a 3:30 CBS game.
through CBS or the total is 35.5.
I
I'm gonna
take the
take the
over.
over. I'm gonna take the over on that. Yeah,
Yep. I think it'll be good. It's always a pretty good game between those two.
yeah.
So, Big Ten matchup here. Michigan State at Maryland. Maryland 8.5 point favorite. I'm
I
gonna
think
take the
Michigan's.
Terps. I did
I'm gonna
not think
take
Michigan
two.
State got lucky against Florida
Yeah,
Atlantic.
that's right. Yep. Who did the Terps? They beat somebody pretty badly, didn't
Killed
they?
UConn.
Yeah, I'm gonna take
Yeah.
Maryland.
Yeah. Number 22, Kansas, who actually once again moved up to 19 in the AP
Team.
poll today at Illinois. Kansas is a 5 point favorite.
Illinois, they can score some points. I know our good buddy who says he's not an Illinois fan says that their defense was questionable and they
Yep.
held Eastern Illinois to nothing. So
Yep.
obviously, this is a much bigger test.
Got to think they'll have a good crowd there. I mean,
Yeah, I'll just to be different. I'll take Illinois on this one. I don't want to, but
I'll take the
um,
Jayhawks.
yeah,
I
I'm
like their
cheering for the
quarterback,
Jayhawks.
Daniels.
But
I like Daniels,
yeah,
their quarterback. He can make things happen with his legs and his arm. So, Western Michigan, another program that just cashing those checks after going to Camp Randall. They now go to the Horseshoe, take on number 2 Ohio State, who's 38 point favorites.
I
If
don't
this is
think this one
anything
is
like
as
when
close.
I played them on a college football 25, it's going to be about 45-7. So,
Yeah, I don't think Western Michigan
no.
holds. I guess another question: did Wahlberg get ejected in the second half of that game, or was it the first half?
I think it was the first half.
Okay, so he's
So,
good to play.
yeah,
Shout out
I think it was.
Purdue, former Purdue player
Yeah, Jacob Walburn.
Wilberg, and then his backup was Dominic Moon, another
Yep.
Boilermaker.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Ohio State. I think they're on a mission. They,
Yeah.
they're,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're pretty focused, I think. I'll be tuning into this one Saturday night.
God,
Colorado at Nebraska. Nebraska's 7.5 point favorite. This game's at 7:30 on NBC, and this is an old Big 8, Big 12 rivalry. I don't like Nebraska, but I'm going to be cheering hard for them because besides Notre Dame and Indiana, Colorado is right next on my teams I root against because they are so damn arrogant.
Yeah, and I hate that. Like, I watched that Colorado game too.
Yeah,
From last week. Like, I hate that I was watching it and cheering
I
against them. So I was
know.
like, I should not care because I really didn't
know.
care last year. Because I was actually like kind of on like the Dion train in the beginning. It's like, oh, this is cool. Like, it shakes things up, and then that train derailed pretty quickly. I was like, I hate all of this.
Oh, I mean, they went 4-8, and you would have thought they made the
Yeah,
playoff.
yeah. And then like Nebraska, like obviously it was fun to hate Scott Frost because he was just a prick and couldn't get out of his own way. Matt Rule comes in. I like Matt Rule. I mean, he's a good coach. It's like, okay, this could be something
I
that
think we got a QB to hate now, though, for
I think,
3 or
yeah,
4
because I was
years.
like, I think it went a whole season like I didn't really hate them, and then I was like, whatever. And then I saw the whole thing about him, Mahomes comparison. I was like, all right, I'm not liking this. And I was talking
Oh, it's
my sales
unbelievable.
rep. My sales rep's he's an Indiana grad, but he's an Ohio State fan. And we were talking today about Nebraska because that kid he was committed to Ohio State, committed, then he decommitted, committed to Georgia, decommitted, and committed to um, Nebraska, and apparently he played for 3 different high schools, all in 3 different states. So he's definitely seems like a
Yep.
diva. But yeah, I'll be
Yep.
cheering for Nebraska, and I hope to God they just absolutely whoop them.
I think they get it done at home. That place is gonna be
Yeah,
rocking.
yeah.
I think they get it. And Colorado's got great offense. I mean,
Oh
Shadir,
yeah,
I don't care for him, but he is talented. Travis Hunter's a dude on both sides of the
he's a
ball.
top 5 pick. He's got to
Yeah,
be
he's a
right.
dude.
Yeah,
I can't stand on Dion's already saying they're gonna be like Eli with Shadir and Travis Hunter and kind of dictate where they go. Like, all
yeah,
right. But don't worry about Shiloh getting drafted. At least he'll probably day
yeah,
3 if he does. That dude gets personal foul on defense every game. And
yeah.
Colorado's gotta shape up their defense a little bit if they want to
Hmm.
try to knock off some of these opponents. And Ted Berkey here on YouTube. Dion feels like he recruits athletes and expects to beat everyone because they are so athletic without having any coaching or even a plan.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got Warren Sapp on his
Warren
coaching
Sapp
staff.
on the you got
Terrell Owens
T.O. just
was
hanging
just on the
out.
sidelines. Yeah,
Uh,
it's
Bill Goldberg was on the sidelines. I know his son's a walk-on freshman, but it's like, come on. They can
yeah,
sit up with the parents.
yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
but yeah,
What a
go Husk,
joke.
go Big Red.
Yep.
The one time
Only
I'll
time
say
we'll say
that.
that. Except if
Yeah,
they're playing Indiana.
yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, hopefully they just whoop them.
Boise State at number 7, Oregon. Oregon fell 4 spots in the poll. Oregon's 19.5-point favorite. I think they cover. I think they're
They
going to be
cover.
focused. I wouldn't
Yeah.
have wanted to be a Duck football player this week in practice.
No, God, no. Nope.
And Utah State at number 13, USC, who moved up 10 spots after
Impressive
beating
win.
LSU. Yeah,
Yeah.
Miller Moss looked good.
Yeah.
It was weird watching a big time game like that and kind of keeping tabs just for the sake of the conference.
Yeah. What about the fact that Washington played at 11 o'clock on Saturday? And it was like, oh, this
Big
is a
10
Big
after
Ten
dark.
game. This is a Big Ten game.
Oh,
Pouring out
man.
for Pac-12 after dark.
Yep.
We didn't know what we had.
No, we didn't. Looking around the country, Arkansas 1-0 travels to number 17, Oklahoma State, who's 1-0 and a 7.5-point favorite.
You said Arkansas, Oklahoma State. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Mike Gundy and the boys.
Yeah, I think Ollie Gordon runs for 3 touchdowns that game.
Yeah.
Northern Illinois, led by Ethan Hampton, throwing 5 TDs against Western Illinois, traveled to number 5. I think they moved up 2 spots in the
Yeah,
AP
number
poll.
5.
Notre
Yep.
Dame, who's a 28.5-point favorite. I know you got a soft spot for your Huskies there, Webby, but I don't see them covering.
No, if there's anything like our dynasty in EA College Football 25, this game is going to be over very quickly for the Huskies.
Baylor at number 12, Utah. I think Utah covers that 14-point spread.
Yeah, I think so too.
South Florida, can they cover the 31-point spread out of Alabama? I don't think so.
No, nope.
There's
not even a spread for the Miami, Florida. Which, man, talk about Florida. Talking about a coach who's, I mean, both 2 Florida schools that are kind of already freaking out. You got Florida State, who's like, I'm already 0-2 in conference play, which is wild.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a worse start.
And then Florida just got absolutely curb stomp at home by
Billy Napier's in trouble.
I'm not sure he makes it through the season.
Yeah,
does it make it to Halloween's a question.
Big step up from the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, and yeah, not going good. Mitch Melton on Facebook, you could have watched Big Ten football for 12 straight hours Saturday. It was a little weird. Yeah, and that's going to be a constant theme, I think, going forward. So, heck, there'll be basketball Saturdays. You can do that too going forward. So, welcome to college athletics in 2024.
Why couldn't this be a thing when we were in school, when it was like we go out to the bar on like Saturday and it was like all the good games are done, or like we go out at 10 or whatever and the one game's kind of wrapping up. We don't really care because the other game's not going to start for another hour. It's like this was Big Ten. It'd be incredible.
Yep. We do have a top 25 matchup this week. Number 15 Tennessee at number 24 North Carolina State, who struggled in their opening game. Tennessee's 8-point favorite on the road.
I think it's actually played at the Panthers Stadium.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I looked it up because
You're right, Bank of America Stadium. Yep, in Charlotte.
Yeah, so
Yep.
Yeah, I think
Tennessee's pretty good.
Yeah, that Nico, he's a hell of a quarterback. Yeah, unfortunately, but I think Tennessee covers that easily.
And last one, anyway, Sean Clark, former offensive line coach for the Boilers under Danny Hope. Anyways, Appalachian State Mountaineers cover the 17-point spread at number 14, 17.5-point spread at number 14 Clemson. Clemson's 0-1. Probably going to be a little mad.
Yeah, and their offense looked awful doing it. You know what? I'm going to say yes.
I love it. I hope they do. I always vote for Sean Clark. He's a good dude, and he's done a good job at App State. They could be a potential team. They might have to win a game like this though, but they could be a potential team to get in the playoff.
Yeah, that's what see.
Yep, but I'll take Clemson to cover just to be different. So, I know we don't have a ton more to talk about, Webby, but you know what I like to do once in a while to fill some time. I like to do Purdue football trivia.
Oh boy.
Let me get to this comment real quick. Thad Moody on Facebook. Sanders kids go pro. Dion goes and coaches at Florida State. In perks of a broken wing and a sling. I did watch Big Ten for 12 hours on Saturday. Yes. Thad had a tear in his shoulder, so he's recovering for that. I'm right there with you. Dion could pitch and say he's gonna stay at Colorado, but both of his kids gone after this year, and his third kid, Travis Hunter. I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna stay. I don't know. But I got a whole different list here of Purdue football quizzes, and you can choose one. I'll go through a few of them, and you can choose. We got Purdue football opponents from 2000 to 2010. We got most common Purdue football opponents of all time. We got Purdue football wins from 2000 to 2011. We got 2010's Purdue football statistical leaders. Purdue football opponents, that's of all time. Purdue football all-time stat leaders. And I'll let you choose any of those you want.
Let's do, what was the one, the first one you said? It's like 2000's opponents? Or what was it?
It was Purdue football opponents from 2000 through 2010.
Let's do that one. I'm not feeling confident, but why not?
All right.
My formative years, so let's see.
I've taken most of these. I don't know how I did on them, but I've taken most of these. So there's 136. You get 10 minutes.
Oh my God.
Screen here.
Okay, it's one of these. Holy crap.
But I think it's like if you name Indiana, it's gonna take Indiana out like 10 right away. Yeah.
Oh, so it's
I'll share my screen so you can see it.
Okay.
You can see it. Includes bowl games too.
Oh geez.
Okay.
This is great for an audio format.
I know. This is why audio people, you got to go check us out on YouTube. So let's see if I can zoom in the screen a little bit here. Zoom. Oh, I just saw it. Darn it. Zoom. Can you see that better?
Yeah.
A little better. Okay. All right. When you're ready, tell me when.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's roll.
All right. Indiana.
Hey, 11 right off the bat.
Yeah. Notre Dame. Wisconsin. Iowa. Nebraska can do the whole Big Ten West. Why not?
Not Nebraska because it goes to 2010.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so
2000 to 2010.
Penn State, Illinois. I already said Iowa, Michigan State. It's gonna be Michigan first, probably. Yeah, Michigan State.
Yeah, I got you. You're gonna get that one anyways. Oh,
yeah, Ohio State.
Jeez.
Oh, I know Bowling Green was one in like 03 that we lost 26-27.
Oh, yeah. We've never beat them in the history of Purdue football.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, there's some years right
Rose
there.
Bowl, that was Washington.
Got them twice. Also, Sun Bowl
Yeah.
02.
Kansas State was another bowl team that we played.
That was in 98.
Oh, son of a gun. Sun Bowl, we lost 27. I'm going to skip that. I don't really care about that right now. Capital Bowl, that was Georgia. I'm missing some Big Ten teams. Okay. Northwestern. Okay. I'm Indiana State on there. We played them probably at least a couple times, right? No. Oh,
Yeah, it took it somewhere.
okay.
Took it in
Toledo.
06.
Toledo.
Yep.
Middle Tennessee State.
That was 2011.
Gosh dang it. Syracuse.
Good pull.
Yeah.
That was back in 04. Good pull.
Yep. That was a Sunday game. Ball State.
51-0. There it is. Yep. You've almost got the whole 04 except the Sun Bowl that year.
Who did we lose to in the Sun Bowl? This is going to make me really mad.
We watched this game together at a mutual friend's house.
Who was the friend?
Monty Hoffman.
Okay. Yeah. Was that Arizona? Okay.
Well,
Arizona
Arizona. There you go.
Okay, I was gonna say, I thought it was like a.
Well, you got Arizona twice there in 03 and 05.
Yeah. Okay, scroll up for a second. Let's go to.
Yep. Sorry.
Man.
Still missing a couple of Big Ten teams, or at least one that I can think of.
Okay, so I've got Northwestern. So I've got Wisconsin, Iowa, Northwestern, Illinois, Michigan State, Indiana, Ohio State, Penn State. Who am I missing? People are screaming at me, I'm sure. Let's see. Okay. I'm seeing the map in my head, which is what's making me mad. Minnesota. Gosh.
There you
go. Okay.
I think you got all the Big Ten teams, so now you got a lot of season openers.
Yeah, and bowl games. All right, scroll down all the way to the bottom there.
Yep.
I'm trying to think here. These ring a bell.
Yeah, I got a few of them in my head now that I look at the scores.
Yeah. We already got Indiana State, right?
Right.
Yep. Okay. That was what 06. We played them.
Yep.
Ball
It
State.
was,
Did we play Northern Illinois in any of these? Oh, I know another one. Okay, I've got another one.
Yes, lost to Northern Illinois 28-21, 09.
Wake Forest was another one. Spelled Forest
yes,
wrong.
it was. Yep. There it goes. That was 02 and 03. Lost to them in 02. 24-21. Beat them in 03. Ranked road win 16-10.
Yep.
So you got 03. You got the complete 03 schedule.
So is the Sun Bowl, was that a Pac-12 team?
Yes.
Okay. Washington State.
Bingo.
With them. Okay. Pulled that out of nowhere. 18 more. Okay. So I've got to be.
So you got the home opener in 03. You got the third game of the year in 02. Excuse me, 02. You got the first two games in 2000. You got the first two games in 01. 04 is completed. You got the home opener in 05, which we talked about earlier in this podcast.
Oregon
was 08 and 09.
Yep.
So you got 09 filled.
What were we saying about 08 home opener?
I said 05. We talked about the home opener in 05 earlier in this podcast.
Oh, yeah, Akron. No.
There you go.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Got to
Okay.
think MAC schools for a lot of
Yep.
these.
Yeah. Miami, Ohio.
Yep. First
Hell yeah.
overtime game in Ross 8 history. 38-31 win in 06.
Got Toledo.
Why I remember that? You
played
should
Northern
get this
Illinois.
one. Champ Sports Bowl. We watched this one in your basement.
Oh, that was Maryland. Yeah.
Yep.
We missed the only score.
Yes, we did.
What was the 35-42 loss?
Yeah,
in
that was the rare
2006?
13 game
Oh,
season.
Hawaii.
Yeah, that
Yep.
was stayed up to 2 a.m. for
I think
nothing.
I watched it the next day. Okay, I got 11 more. Three. Okay. And in Miami, Ohio, we played Kent State.
Yep, that was back in 2000.
Okay.
Rose Bowl team being 45-10. So you need the season opener in 2000.
Okay. I'm trying to get other MAC schools. Eastern Michigan.
No.
No. Okay. Western Michigan.
Yes, that was right there. 28-24 win in 02. I do not remember that game at all.
Should have been one of the bowls too, right? Scroll down.
2011.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was the year that we played them like 300 times. Western Michigan. Have I said Eastern? I said Eastern Michigan. For MAC schools. Who have I lost to on EA College Football? Oh God. Okay. 9 more.
You should this one, it's 52-6 game in 07. You, myself, Andrew Eiler, your dad, and Andrew's dad went to this. It was a rained out or rain delay
I thought
game.
that was Middle Tennessee. Is that Eastern Illinois?
There you go.
Okay, I remember the blue and silver, and I thought that was Eastern.
Whoa,
I thought that was Middle Tennessee State.
Well, yeah, Jake Stander for a block.
That's for some reason I remember that always as Middle Tennessee State. You know, I know that was the home opener in 2011. Yeah, when we needed a block, extra point, or field goal.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, my computer just flipped screens on me.
Still got home opener in 2000, 2001, and 2002. Actually, 2001 was on the road. Excuse me. I do remember that
was
game.
on a road.
Yeah.
Was it a Power 5?
They are now. They weren't at the time.
Utah.
They were pretty good. They were pretty good non-Power 4. No Utah.
Pretty good non-Power 4.
In the Midwest. Also, I've mentioned them on this podcast at one point.
In the Midwest. Weren't a Power 4, now they are. Oh man, the clock's ticking. This is gonna make me so mad. I'm trying to think of just other just random teams that we've played. What was I missing? 2007, 2008. That should be one that I remember pretty well, but I just don't. 2010. That would have been my senior year, so I feel like I should know that one. Of high school. Gosh, dang it, I'm gonna miss 8. It's gonna be the most frustrating thing in the world. Did you get all these?
I think I did.
Yeah,
I don't remember. I took this a long time ago. 2000 though. I can't even think of who the first game was. 2000. I think I know all the best.
Have we played Kentucky at all?
We haven't. But 2000 was Central Michigan.
Central Michigan. Gosh,
2001 was Cincinnati. That's what I was trying to.
Okay.
Illinois State in 02.
I can believe that. Central Michigan.
Central Michigan again in 2007.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. I had Western Michigan in my head.
Again in 2008.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I thought we played Western Michigan 4 times. It was Central Michigan. And Northern Colorado, I would not have gotten that
Northern Colorado, and then Western Illinois. That was Keith Smith tore his knee that game.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So
you did really good. You did really good. You got 94 average scores, 88, which that's one of the higher average scores I've seen on a quiz. So good job, Webby, for impromptu, no studying, no nothing. You did well.
Central Michigan. Gosh, that pisses me
Dan
off.
Lefevre, man.
Yeah,
Dan Lefevre.
in my head, just like it's like East Illinois was Middle Tennessee State, Central
What
Michigan
I
was
kept
Western
thinking,
Michigan in my
you're
head.
going over MAC teams in your head. I'm like, he's gonna get it eventually.
Yeah, completely forgot what Chippewas.
Chippewas. Yep. Yeah, maybe if the podcast episodes are slow from time to time, we'll throw some quizzes then.
I like that.
They got
That's
some
fun.
fun basketball ones too. They got some fun basketball ones on there too. So, any closing thoughts, Webby, as we wrap up what's been a fun podcast talking about a Boiler victory?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great time being in Ross-Ade. It's just good. Yeah, good to walk out with a Boilermaker victory. What winning record is this? Walter's first winning record, technically.
Yes. Yep.
Because he obviously took a couple. We were 1-1 last year. No, it was just great. Yeah, it sucks we don't have a game this week, but yeah, I'm all for getting these guys healthy.
Yeah, I'm same way. I'm like, I got so juiced up that then now it's like no game this week, but at the same time, I'm like, if it means we got a better chance of upsetting Notre Dame, I'm all for it.
Yep, 100%.
So, but before we log off, we got to pay some bills.
We do.
We got to pay some bills, and we got to give a shout out to both of our wonderful sponsors. The first being Mad Mushroom. The Boiler Breakdown is brought to you by Mad Mushroom, serving Boilermakers since 1993. Mad Mushroom is located in the heart of West Lafayette and is well known as the home of the original cheese sticks. Whenever myself, Andrew, who couldn't join us tonight, or Webby visit, we like to sit down and have an ice cold beer while trying out their latest pizza of the month, which is a brand new month, September. So you know what that means, a brand new pizza of the month. We have Carl's Spicy Barbecue Chicken. It's Mad Mushroom's house blended spicy barbecue sauce topped with chicken, cup and char pepperoni, onions, and mozzarella and cheddar cheeses, starting at a price of $14. So next time you are in West Lafayette, stop in and tell them the Boiler Breakdown sent you for $5 off any order over $20. And any Boiler Breakdown listener and viewer can also use the coupon code BREAK5, that's all caps, BREAK5, to claim your discount online at madmushroom.com. That's Mad Mushroom, feed your head. I want one of those Carl spicy barbecue chicken pizzas.
Yeah, I had not had dinner tonight, so I was.
I have, and I'm still hungry.
I was not hungry before this pod, but I just got real hungry now.
Yeah, that's oh man, that's right up my alley. Yep, yes sir. So, hey, we got one more sponsor. I know we had 59,499 or something like that, 449. I don't know what I said earlier. People in Ross-Ade, I might have botched that number completely, but they would look even better showing up at the Notre Dame game if they had something from the shop.
Absolutely. The shop has been bringing, hometown apparel to the fans since 2011. They are Boilermaker owned. Alex over at the shop, one of the co-owners, he's a proud Purdue grad. They've been doing awesome things over the years. This is a couple years in with us now. We're glad to have them. I'm wearing one of the first football shirts I bought from the shop a couple years ago.
I got the hat, one of my hats.
Hat. They've now got 3 retail locations. So if you're in the Indianapolis area, they got one in Carmel, one in Broad Ripple, now they got one downtown. So wherever you're at in Indy, they've got you covered. Always having deals online, but if you want a deal, if you go to theshopindy.com, use promo code BREAKDOWN you get 25% off.
Yeah, you can't beat that. They make very comfortable shirts.
Sweatshirts, drinkware, stickers.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, and it's for all things Indiana, whether it's universities. Actually, it's even brought on Ohio State. I'm sure that'll be a big bump for
and
them,
Cincinnati baseball.
Yep. So, whether you're a Pacers fan, they had some cool stuff for the All-Star game this year, or I guess this past season, technically.
A lot of cool Fever stuff.
A lot of cool Fever stuff. Yeah, just all around good people, good quality stuff. It's worth the money, and check them out.
100%. Well, Webby, it's been fun. Looking forward to chopping up next week, getting ready for the battle for the Shillelagh against the Irish. But for now, let's boiler up, hammer down, and win the bye week.
Get healthy. Boiler up.